I have a lot of empathy and even sympathy for young people, especially young people that are about to start their life. Moving away from your parents for the first time can be really hard. When you're in school, and I know some people even have really bad childhood that when they were in high school, they didn't really have the kind of support that the parents of other kids would have given to their peers. You know, if you have pocket money, if you have an allowance to buy stuff for yourself, to enjoy yourself, you are lucky. Consider yourself lucky. A lot of my friends, when I was in high school, they didn't have a supportive family. They were in between homes and they had to work and basically look after themselves. A lot of them also stayed at the school accommodation in high school. Kids who traveled across the country, maybe they live in an isolated part of Australia. That's why they needed to have an accommodation right next to the school. That was high school. Why am I talking about this? I have a lot of empathy for young people because they do not have a lot of life experiences. And when you're thrown into this steep end that is called life, you're not prepared for it. You don't really know what to expect, really. People that had to start working at a young age, not because they want to save up to buy themselves a brand new guitar, which was the case for me. A lot of them, they had to work because they had to. They needed the money to save up for whatever it is that they are saving up towards. They needed to have their own transport. They don't have their parents dropping them off at school, kissing them goodbye, saying, "Have a good day, child." They had to drive themselves to school, to work. They needed their own transport. They needed to buy their own food. I admire young people, those who had to learn to become independent at such a young age. I admire them. God bless them. And whenever I see a person like that, I want to lift them up. I want to give them hope that yes, that there is hope. And you, my friend, you are doing a great job. Keep being you. Keep working. Keep saving up. Shoot for your dreams. uh, why am I talking about this? Why am I suddenly talking about young people? Because guess what? I used to be a young person once. And even though our life experiences might be different, I can relate to a lot of your struggles. I've been through what you experienced, and I know how it feels, man. I know how it feels. It's not the end of the world if you feel like you're at rock bottom when you're in high school, or you feel like you're going nowhere, you're not going to have a future. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. I'm telling you, it's not the end of the world. Your life has just started. You started your life earlier than most people. I moved out of my parents' care when I was 18. Technically, I moved out of both of my parents' care when I was 16 or 15 because my mom came to study in Australia. And when she finished her study, she didn't stay here. She went back home. And my dad was the one who stayed because I was underage and I needed a guardian as an immigrant. I needed a guardian. It's a legal thing. If my dad wasn't here, I would need someone who is an adult to be my guardian here in Australia. I cannot be a stray immigrant kid here. But that's the law. Anyways, I moved out of my parents' care when I was 18, when I came to Tasmania to start my university degree. And when you're 18, technically you're an adult, right? You have all the responsibilities and rights of an adult. But yet, you are still in that transitional stage between school and the real world. High school isn't real life, guys. And it might seem silly for me to be saying this when you're in high school right now and you think, oh, man, I suck at school. I suck at math. I suck at English. I suck at sports. I suck at everything. I hate school. I hate my teachers. I hate my friends. What am I doing here? I can't get anything right. What is the point of being in school? I'm telling you, just stick by it, man. Just work through it. You will find what you're good at. It isn't everything, but you need to try. Try, okay, just try. Don't drop out. Believe it or not, it's probably not the best idea to be dropping out because there are multiple pathways for you to take in order to be employed, essentially. And one of those things is having a high school certificate or get into a trade, get into university. I don't know, become qualified. You need a qualification to be employed. But anyways, why am I talking about this? When I was 18, I moved out of my parents' care, right? I lived by myself. Well, technically, I lived with housemates. But yeah, I started my independence life when I was 18. And trust me, I didn't even know how to use a washing machine. I didn't even know how to use a microwave. It's so embarrassing for me to admit this, but when I moved out, I didn't even know how to make a doctor's appointment. My parents had to do everything for me. And I applied for a job for the first time. I remember going on Gumtree, posting an ad there. And it's probably a silly way to be looking for a job, but I figured if I post an ad on Gumtree, by the way, Gumtree is like a secondhand sort of website where people post ads for their secondhand items. It's kind of dead now, but it was very popular back in the past early 2000s, 2010s. Yeah. Anyways, I posted an ad on Gumtree saying, I am a uni student, 18-year-old, looking for a job. I have no qualifications. I'm ready to do anything. I'm ready to do anything. Because back then I really wanted to impress my parents. I actually didn't need to work in order to support myself during uni, because my parents, they were the main source of support for me, and I didn't actually need to get a job. I just wanted to get a job to really be independent and to buy my own groceries. So yeah, I posted an ad on Gumtree saying, "Oh, I'm ready to do anything. I'm willing to learn. I'm ready to take anything. Don't hesitate to contact me." I even put a picture of myself there smiling with my guitar. The first few replies were great. I actually got a gig as a guitar teacher for this child, this 5-year-old child. And it was fun. It was fun, I'll be honest. It was fun being a guitar teacher. But I'm not really a guitar teacher. I just taught myself guitar on YouTube and I became semi-decent at it. So I feel like this kid, he didn't actually need a guitar teacher. I feel like the parents, the guy that contacted me, he actually wanted to help me out because it seems as though I'm very desperate. You know, putting an ad on Gumtree, looking for a job, pretty desperate, right? I didn't do any sort of walk-in resume handing job seeking because firstly I didn't have a car. Secondly, the transport system in Tasmania suck balls. The public transport system suck balls, and it's so hard for me to get around the city back then as well as a new Tasmanian. I didn't know how the world works. So yeah, I posted an ad on Gumtree and I got a lot of weird replies. There was this guy who straight up solicited me for sex work. I'm not kidding. Someone contacted me asking me if I want to suck his you know what for money. Eventually, this Chinese merchant found me, and I started working in his restaurants. And let me tell you, it was a complete disaster. I'll save that for the next video, but I hope you're doing well out there. Stay strong, God bless, and do not give up. You're young, your life is ahead of you, and you get there, trust me. Keep grinding, keep hustling, shoot for your dreams.